Have you sent an email expecting a response and then been met by silence? I definitely have. I'm David Stiernholm, and this week's episode of Done is about how to make sure you get the responses to emails you need. But first, to have a single to-do list is preferable. However, if you need to have multiple, that's fine too, as long as you keep one particular thing in mind. What thing? Well, I tell you that in a short post on the Struktör blog. There's a link to it in the show notes. You send emails, but do you get a response? You don't know that beforehand. Some emails is not that important to get a response to, while for others you really want to get a reply. If you don't hear from the recipient for a while, you want to follow up and hear what they have to say about what you sent. But with so many emails coming in every day and every week, how can you keep track of which emails you haven't received a response to yet? Here are 3 ideas I've seen for how to do this. The first, you can set a red follow-up flag on the email you sent in Outlook. When you set the flag, you can also specify when you should follow up to check if you have received a response. You can choose this week, next week, or a specific date. Then, in the flagged emails folder, you'll see all the emails you have flagged for follow-up that you haven't got a response for yet. The second, perhaps you don't want to use flags because you use the flag feature to automatically create to-do tasks in Microsoft To Do from emails that require you to do something other than respond immediately. Instead, you put the emails you want to keep track of in a separate folder that you look in every day or once a week, and then follow up on the ones you'd have expected a response to by now. For a while, I had a rule that moved any emails I sent containing a question mark to a separate follow-up folder. If I asked something, I wanted an answer, I figured. And the third, you create a to-do task based on the email so that if you haven't received a response yet, you'll contact the recipient again. This is how I do it, because then in my to-do list, I can get an overview of everything that needs to be done in a project, both tasks I have to do and tasks I'm waiting for from other people, like responses to emails I sent. You can set a due date for your to-do task so that you'll be alerted when you should have received the response you're waiting for. Do this. If you haven't done so already, decide on a way to easily keep track of if you get a response to the important emails you have sent. It could be one of the ways I have suggested here, or something completely different. Try the new way for a few weeks and then evaluate. You can ask yourself, did this make it easier for you to keep track of if you get responses than before? Is the way simple enough to use so that it doesn't take up unnecessary time from your most important tasks? And if you were to improve the way a notch, what would you change? Because if you have a way to keep track of if you get responses to your most important emails, you don't have to worry about whether you got a response or not. Even if you send a lot of emails, you can trust that you have control without much effort. Do you have any other way of keeping track of if you get replies to emails you have sent? Write to me and let me know. You can reach me at david@stiernholm.com, as usually. You don't have to flag the email you sent to me, put it in a special folder, or create a to-do task for it. I will reply, I promise. And that's all for today. I'll see you again next week.